For that back corner piece right here, it's kind of hard to see how wide it should be. We can see it a little bit here. And maybe if we go to the back view with Control 1 and go to wireframe, maybe we can see it here on the other side. So we can't really see it here because of the tire, but we can see the width here. And it also looks like it's two pieces. It doesn't go all the way down here. It looks like this is just one piece up here, and then there's another piece that kind of fits underneath and below it. So we'll work on this one a little bit later, but that corner piece, let's go ahead and work on that now. I'll go to the side view, and you can see it pretty well here, this piece going right down to there, and then back up here. So let's basically go through the same process that we did for the front one and get that in place. So I'll create a polygon plane. I'll go ahead and press RY90 and spin that and scale it down, and let's move it over and try and find a place where we can begin. I would say something like this again. Let's try this. I'll scale it out just a bit and put it right in here. And we could then scale this down to here, I guess. But I think, oh, there is an angle here. So I'm seeing this kind of jagged line here is actually an angle in. So if we just take, say, this piece right here, this edge, and just drag it straight down like this, then this, it looks like, comes in a bit, and maybe this comes out a bit. So you've got that angle in like this. Now, once again, we could take this edge up here and extrude it up. I'll hit E and just pull that straight up. Actually, why don't I hit the Z key, and that will constrain it to the Z axis. And pull that up like this. Now it looks like I've got this edge in the wrong place. It looks like it goes all the way over to here. So let's just pull that straight out like that. There we go. So I'm just looking at the width here. I think that's what we want. Now, once again, let's add another edge loop with Control R, and I'll put it right there. We'll select that edge now and slide it over. There we go. Now, do we have much of a curve here? Or is it just an angle? There really isn't much of a curve. It really is just kind of an angle there. So why don't we leave it like this for now? That looks fairly straight. And then see if we need to add any more detail to it as we move on. All right, so we have the side piece now. What we need to do is select these edges here and then extrude it into the x-axis for the back side. So let's press Control 1 and go back here. Oh, I'm in the wrong area, aren't I? So let's go into object mode, and which way should I pull it here? Which side have we been working on? Well, we've been working over here. So let's see if I can place it right about here, let's say. Let's try that. And then if we tab into edit mode, we still have that edge selected. So let's go here and I'll tab back into edit mode, hit E and X, and that'll extrude in the X axis. And let's take it right over to here, let's say. All right. So let's go to solid view, and that's what we have so far. I think that's going to work pretty well. Let's go ahead and add a solidify modifier to it so it can have a little thickness the way these do up here. Actually, before I do, look in here. It's got a little bit of a lip or edge extruding back into there. It's really hard to see, but I think that might be good just to add that little bit of a detail there. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just hit E and Y, and let's pull that out just a bit like that. Let's try that. Okay, now we can use that solidify modifier here, and let's choose even thickness. And I think I better apply the rotation and scale because it looks like we're not getting much there. So let me just press Control A, and let's go ahead and apply the scale. Let's just do that. There we go. See how much that changed that once we applied the scale. Now I can click and drag in the thickness field and get it about the way we want it there. Yeah, something like that. All right, so we have that. Let's go ahead and mirror it to the other side. I'll move the origin to the 3D cursor in the center of the grid. I will add a modifier and choose mirror. And once again, we're not seeing it here, so let's press Control A and apply the rotation now. And there it is over on the other side. Okay. So now that we've got those, let's think about these crossbars up top. There's quite a bit of detail on the top and all these things on it, but just for now, let's work on only the crossbars here. So I'll press Shift A, and this time we'll create a cube. And I'll hit the S key and scale it down quite a bit. And let's go to the side view. Let's get this in place. Move it up to here, and I'll scale it down. And let's say it's about like this, about this big. Now we can take this all the way over here, like that. Tab into edit mode, hit the 3 key for face mode, and I'll go ahead and select this face and just drag it straight over to here, I think. Let's try that. Let me look at it in solid mode. Yeah, let's go to the top view and wireframe, and let's pull that over until we get it right about here. Now what we could do is mirror it over and then connect it. So if I move the origin to the center of the grid, to the 3D cursor, and I mirror it over, there it is over there. Now if we insert an edge loop and extrude between the two pieces, I think we can connect them up. So let's give that a try. I'll go back to the top view. Let's go to wireframe, and now what let's do is tab into edit mode and press Control R, and I'm going to add an edge loop and drag it right up to about here. So it's in line with that crossbar up here at the back. Now let's go to face mode, select that one face there that we just created. There it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this forward, or extrude this toward the center, and it will then meet up with its mirror. And when we do that, we want the clipping setting to be on, so that when they join each other, it clips together. But there's one thing we need to do before that happens, and we need to delete that face. Because what's going to happen is if we extrude this and have it meet up with this other side here, I'm going to hit E and X, and I'm going to extrude this and pull this in. You can see they're coming toward each other. The problem is when these two clip together and those points merge, we're still going to have a face inside of here. And that's something you do not want to do. You do not want to have internal faces to your objects. That's called a T polygon shape there. You don't want any T's inside your objects. Let me just show you what I mean. If I take this and go ahead and drag it until it clips, right? Now if I try and pull it apart, I can't. Those are merged together. And if I hit the Z key and go to wireframe, you can see right inside of there, there's that extra face. And when I say a T, I mean this face and, let me turn on the edit cage here. And this face, you can see that T pattern. And part of that T pattern is inside the object. And you do not want that. That is just something that is not going to work if you ever try and smooth it, if you ever try and add a subdivision surface modifier. If you try and UV map it, it's going to cause you problems. And if you try and sculpt on it, it's going to cause you big problems. So this T pattern of polygons is something you do not want at all. So what I'm going to do is just select that one face and hit X and delete faces. There we go. So in the future, what I'll do is if we're going to come across that problem, I will delete that face before I even pull it in and clip it together. All right. So that is the back panel and the top crossbar. In the next video, let's begin adding some of the pieces onto the back of the vehicle, like this piece here and some other pieces down into here. So that's coming up next.